Fixing the camera. Hang with me. There we go. Hello, everyone. No, it's very low still. Yep. There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Era Military Collectibles. How are we all doing? We'll see who pops in. And we'll see who stays, and we'll see who goes, and we'll see who pops in, and basically we'll see how it goes. That rhymes. But more people pop in, the longer we'll stay. Jude, hello. How are you, Jude? How is everyone? I've tried a thing again to see for the recording. Will it leave the comments? So please be gentle in the comments, guys, if you are going to comment. And we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I have been trying the best for a while to leave the comments in the recording for it to really see the live, but it doesn't seem to work. I don't know why. But yeah, we've been doing well. Couple of videos up today. Did the video on the Living History UK Festival. That's going very, very well. What else are we doing? There will be a video of items that I got in England while I was over at the Living History UK Festival. That will be coming up soon. I finally got all my kit and equipment put away after the festival because I brought an awful lot of stuff for the off banner thing, so that's all been put away, thankfully. And thank you to Andrew Johnson if he's there as well, because he also brought an awful lot of his equipment down for our static display, which was fantastic. And Steel Helmet Stan, watch out, Stan's about. Hello, Stan, how are you? Darren Anderson, Ashton, hello, even folks, hello, how are you? Yeah, so it's all go, and I am back to work tomorrow. I had the weekend off for family circumstances, but I'm back to work tomorrow, and yeah, it's going to be hectic. So we have some stuff coming up. Stan, I'm actually just after watching your video on the TV behind me, on your day out with your beloved wife at the little air museum, and it looked cool. It looked very cool. I love those little private, I say private, but sort of hidden away little museums, because the sort of stuff they have is very, and the passion that they have compared to the big national museums is very, very good, and an awful lot of them are a lot better than the national museums. I haven't been to it in a long time, but I know an awful lot of people that have been to the Imperial War Museum, and they don't really like it whatsoever anymore. I don't know. My beloved wife left me behind. Hello, Jim. How are you? How are you doing? Jim, have you gotten rid of your channel that you did with all your military? I know you have a channel where you do sort of your everyday life, but have you gotten rid of your channel with your military stuff? Because I went looking for it today, and I couldn't find it, because I was actually looking for a video that you did before on DDR stuff, and I couldn't find it. Just one commandment taught my wife. Interactions were amusing. Well, she can cut that out. I'm the star. Yeah, no, I mean, like it was a good little video. I've military collectibles, CJ stuff lined up there. I know he did some Russian stuff. World War II stuff, I just seen it, and I didn't get around to watching it, but I will after this live stream, because I have a few bits and pieces to do here in the man cave. I'm still putting away some stuff. Still organising some stuff. If any of you don't know, I have set up a Facebook page, Era Military Collectibles Buy and Sell, and there is also a chat group. So if any of you are friends with me on Facebook, or if you want to join the Buy and Sell page, you're more than welcome. It's on Facebook. It is the Era Military Collectibles Buy and Sell, because I'm just trying to streamline the collection and get rid of some bits and bobs. You're more than welcome, and you're also more than welcome if you have your own stuff that you want to advertise to sell. You're more than welcome to put it up on the website or on the Facebook page or on the chat group. So more than welcome. yeah, so as I said, I've been putting out. I have all my stuff. My mannequin, my RUC mannequin, now is back together after being in England for the Living History UK festival. Um, he's back together. I have all the stuff that I got. Believe it or not, I didn't actually purchase anything over there. I had stuff lined up to be collected um, over at the Living History UK festival. So I have all that lined up now to do a video on over the next week or two. Probably next week, probably be up next weekend, and try and get back into the swing of things. Uh, 1 second now. Uh, Gym Timber 2 is gone thanks to cyberbullying. Oh, bugger, man. You have to start up a new one. I will try that, but I will be on my wife's name, I think, unless I can set up my own Facebook. We will see. There's no problem, Stan. There's no problem. Do whatever you wish. Um, yeah, if you do set up your own one, uh, find Jim and the rest of us and Andrew Johnson and all that, and then we can add you to the chat group. Chat group we sort of keep to ourselves. Well, I won't say we keep to ourselves. We keep to other people as well, but we can still sell like DX and replicas and things like that on the chat group, whereas we can't on the Facebook page. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? Um, Giving a lot of thought to opening a channel myself for classic service rifles, showing the collection is growing. Joe, that would be a fantastic thing. The only thing you have to be read the guidelines. Read the guidelines in relation to pew pews on YouTube, because they can be very strict, and the one wrong word can get you in trouble. So be very very clever how you do it. There are gun channels there. Or there are channels there that do cover that. There's no Irish ones, but yeah, just give it a look and see what happens. Check out Blitz44 channel on YouTube. Dad and Son team put it. I actually subscribed to them today, Stan, after I watched your arm strap arm band video. You did one on the HJ and or the HY and the Red Cross, and you said they made them. And I actually subscribed to them after that, and so yeah. Darren, Austin, good stuff, Darren. No problem. Yeah, so check out those Facebook pages, and if you have stuff to sell, sell it. Other than that, it's been a hectic week. As I said, hectic week. Um, the Living History UK Festival boys are all in Hereford tonight at Beefy Boys. If any of you are in the local area, call down. They're having a Coronation Blitz party. And it's a reenactment. I don't know. I call it a reenactment. Uh, what would you call it? Period correct clothing event for, and I think there's a prize for the best costume and stuff like that. So there you go. I'll open a Patreon channel too, as there are a lot more lenient with regarding content. Yeah, people have been asking me, like, John, why don't you set up a Patreon channel, and basically you're paying for when you set a Patreon, you charge whatever different subscription rates, and you add more. So we'll say if I had a Patreon for a fiver, you could get all the videos and no live streams, or you don't get the live streams live. You get them as a recording, and then for a tenner, you get all the videos plus the live streams and all that. So, people have been saying it to me. I should do it. I don't think there's like we all have our own lives. We all have our own jobs. At the end of the day, this is a hobby to me. The actual military collecting and the YouTube is a hobby to me. And I personally, yes, I'd love to put on a show or go to an event and get paid for it. because it is expensive diesel, especially going to England and stuff like that. But when it's an event or an organizer that is giving me money for diesel or petrol or whatever, yeah, that's fine. Um, no problem with that or whatever. But I don't expect my subscribers and my Patreon followers or whatever, if I did set up a Patreon, to be paying for my hobby, if that makes sense. Um, I don't know. That's just me. Uh, I know an awful lot of people do have them. No, nothing wrong with that. You're more like, if you want to have a Patreon, have a Patreon. If you want to have a freaking OnlyFans page, have an OnlyFans page. There are other YouTube now is going to go mental. There are other websites out there that provide those services, but I just don't appeal to me. YouTube, in fairness, has been very good to me, and I've put an awful lot of work into YouTube. And yeah, I mean, like I'm at 1,200 and odd subscribers now. It's slowly ticking away the whole time. I think the Patreon thing is something that in years to come will be more of a thing. But now, but who the fuck would pay to watch me in my shed getting tanked up? Hobby for me, that's it. Yeah, I think that's it too. I'm thinking of starting a new channel called Copyright Issues. Um, yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame, Jim. I don't know what put it into my head today. I had a marine. I have a marine uniform that I have to send to you, a dress uniform, and I was putting stuff. I found extra stuff that I was putting in the stands box, and for something put it in my head, I was like going, I wonder has he done a video on this uniform that I have already, and I went looking for it, and I couldn't find it, and then it was in with stuff with DDR, and I have shoulder boards that are in that box, and I was like going, oh, I've seen those before, and I wonder, and I couldn't remember, was it you that had them? And then when I went looking for your video at your channels, I couldn't find it there, but your other one. Uh, well, they're choosing to subscribe. No one's forcing anyone to become patrons. I'll be the Patreon rate as Ammo is expensive. Yeah, I'll be the Patreon route as Ammo is expensive. Yeah, like you do see people making a living off of YouTube, but they have million plus subscribers. Um, and it's getting paid but for views, and it's sponsorships and things like that. Like if I ever get something off of SOF or Epic or What Price Glory, there are other. Don't get me wrong, there are other um, companies and stuff out there that do stuff for reenacting and collecting. Everything that I've bought off of a company, or everything that I've got off of a company, I've purchased. I've never been sponsored anything. I have been gifted items, but I've been gifted items from the likes of Andrew Johnson, Jim Timber, Stan, Danny Reese from Herefordshire Regimental Museums. And whenever I am gifted something, I will say that it is gifted or I purchased it or whatever. Um, yeah. Where's Kenny? I have the safety on and I'll find my glasses so he will be safe. I don't know. Kenny floats around. Kenny pops in and pops out the whole time. A lot of guys do that. Danny or Herefordshire Regimental Museums, when he pops in and out the whole time. He mightn't comment, but he's there. Same as the likes of Gary Hall, Rifle Green, and all those boys. They pop in and out the whole time. Patreon definitely is your content. Is if your content is professional and edited properly, basically that you're as good as or better than the TV sponsorship, etc. Will. But if it's for me, it's just a hobby and a way of having credit. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I'm happy with YouTube. I am genuinely happy with YouTube. It is what it is. Um, like I'm at this now YouTube maybe don't know, 2 years, 3 years, 2 or 3 years, and I've slowly put it off, and it's slowly building up. The hardest part for me was to get to like 500, and then when I got to the 500, it was like 1,000. But after 1,000, I probably touch wood. After 1,000, I never ever stop. I just stopped looking at subscribers, and it's like constantly ticking away, ticking away, ticking away, ticking away, ticking away. I possibly will break 2,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I'm not that pushed about it. Whenever I post my range days on my Hands on History Facebook page, I get a lot of comments, especially if I take my fad. Everyone seems to love that. Yeah, they do. Uh, like everyone, but like a boy's toy is a firearm or is a pew pew. Uh, like it's like kids love them, adults love them. They're dangerous and they can be dangerous if they're in the wrong hands, but um, I don't know. It is. There's a huge following or a huge interest in them. There's a huge interest in history, as well. Um, like look at the likes of History Hit, which is solely started off solely as a YouTube channel. Now it's got its own subscription based um, channel on an app and all that type of stuff. So yeah, so it's crazy if you just break down that door or find that hook that people are after. There's lots of YouTubers out there that have done it. I'm not going to mention their names because I don't know if that's able to do that or something. Great channel, well on the way to 2,000. Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. Jim Timber, you on the DDRT? I don't think so. He's actually just saying YouTube is much safer for you, John, as you don't have to consider range operator getting fined or something very minor that some busybody saw on YouTube and reported. Yeah, exactly. Naked militaria. Um, that would be interesting. Um, yeah, like in relation to the shows and stuff like that, and in Ireland, I must actually have a look out and see if I can get that show in Ireland this year. I don't know when or any are coming up. There is a Irish reenactors page on a multi or on a social media site, but it seems to have gotten very quiet lately. And I thought during the summer now they're getting mental, but yeah, uh, there used to be. You had Cork jail show. I think that's gone. Um, the ladies' jail is gone. Listowel is gone. Salute is gone. So that's 3 shows off the calendar in Ireland. They're all gone. Um, I know the Irish Military Vehicles Group have one that I was invited to when I met him in Yorkshire. I must send him a message actually. The next show in June can fall in with us. Who was that, Jude? Is that the Leicester's? Leicester's. The Leinster's, not Leicester's. Leinster's. Jeez, my brain went dead there for a minute. Irish Military Vehicle Group. Ah, yeah. I met them in Yorkshire, actually. And they invited me to their show when I was at the Yorkshire Wartime Experience. So, yeah, it's a possibility. Definite possibility. Even if I don't tug out, just go on a camera and do some filming of groups. The only thing about filming in Ireland is, well, at a show and stuff like that, you have to people realise there's photos and stuff like that going to be taken, but technically you're supposed to have a sign at the entrance saying that there will be video, that there's filming going ahead, and stuff will end up on the internet, and if you're not happy with it, then say so, and be careful that you don't end up on a a video. Sorry, guys, I forgot to put this on silent. Sorry. Why won't this go on silent? There we go. Oh. I'd like to see Jim, be gentle. Sure, each group's photographers and videos themselves anyway. Yeah, exactly. It's just GDPR in Ireland is a strange one. It can be a strange one. It can be a weird one. But yeah, so the collection at the moment, I'm not trying to. I was talking about it on the live stream last week. Is I'm just streamlining it. I'm not getting out of the collecting. I just had stuff that I don't use, never use, has been in boxes. So I'm trying to either put it up on the Facebook page or the chat group bit by bit and just clear it off. I possibly, that's what I could do actually. I might get onto the Irish show in June, the Irish Military Vehicle Group, and see about putting up a trader stall and just seeing if I can sell some stuff. If not, I'm going around and doing videos. That's a possibility. Could do that. Sure, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. See what the goes. See what happens. You're all very quiet tonight, lads. Is it because it's Sunday? We mightn't keep the live stream on very long. It's what 8:30 already. We'll probably just go till 9 o'clock. Because it is Sunday and I know an awful lot of lads are back to work tomorrow. I'm in at 5 a.m. So yeah, I always ask if I can film. There was a wee bit of political counteractions going on at the museum today. I did not like that. Political correctness going on at the museum today. I did not like that. Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm not. We don't talk about politics and stuff like that on this channel. But yeah, you have to be very, very careful in relation to doing things. We were actually talking the other day at work. A few of my work colleagues and stuff like that. And we were actually going on about how things have changed so dramatically in 10 years, 20 years, whatever. Because what actually happened was we were at work and a poor lady fell, right? And tripped and genuinely hurt herself. And rather than people going to help her and ask was she okay, they took out their phones and started fucking filming it. And then when other emergency services and stuff started arriving, they just sit there with on their phones, and you're like, it just really, really, I went like, is this what the world has come to? That nobody will help an old lady who's after falling over and tripping. Just diabolical, actually sickening when you think about it, really. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm going getting rotted with drink. Jim Timber, not quite Stan, I am as sober as a judge, so you are as drunk as a judge. Judge's interjection. You mean as drunk as a lord? Smith, yes, my lord. Basically, they had West German Luftwaffe uniforms in a case as a stand for World War II, but no explanation of what that it wasn't World War II, but obviously no Third Reich symbols. So I wouldn't know. I don't know. Is that political correctness or just Stan? I don't know. Is that political correctness or is that just incorrect putting stuff in a cabinet and going, oh, that's German. It must be World War II. Stick it into that cabinet. It's the World War II cabinet. I would have actually questioned him when I would have went, lads, you do know that's East German Luftwaffe from the Cold War, not World War II. Jewish times. Everything has been reduced to its entertainment value. I actually hate it. Yeah. Where was I as well the other day? I went out for a walk. I think I was just out in the park or somewhere. I was out in the park. And it was mad because you had all these you have these tables and stuff, and then you have a fence, and then behind the fence a big play area. So you have swings and slides and roundabouts and seesaws and all these things that we used to have when we were kids. Absolutely mental, fantastic facility, a fantastic setup, right? And empty. And there's 4 or 5 young ones with their phones on the tables facing, so we'll say that they're facing this way and the playground is behind them, behind their camera, and they're sitting there making TikToks, doing these funny dances and stuff, and they're 10, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11 years of age with iPhone 12s. There are other phones out there, but iPhone 12s, and doing these TikToks. And I'm just thinking to myself, there's a whole bloody playground behind you, lads. What are you doing? What are you doing? Go play in the playground. Steelhammer Stand. The impression I got was that that it was next to an RAF World War II uniform set up, that it was a case between, even if the most notice of collectors enthusiasts would know it wasn't Luftwaffe uniform. Yeah, maybe the museum themselves mightn't even know it's World War II. Did everyone enjoy the King coronation? There was a few. There was a few clowns clipping about "Not My King." I got to see a bit of it, actually, to tell you the truth. And the reason I was watching it was because not for the pomp and the ceremony or anything like that, but how often and will I ever in my lifetime? Probably I will. I'll probably get to see, because Charles is an elderly man. But how many people in their lifetime can say that they have seen a coronation of a king? So yeah, so that's why I watched it, basically. Bank holiday here in the UK tomorrow, following the coronation yesterday. Yeah, we have May bank holiday. The first weekend after the start of May is a bank holiday in Ireland. Charles was a para, so massive respect to him. For me, he is the honorary colonel in chief of the paras, and he has done some bits of the training, but I don't think he's ever completed P company and stuff like that. But he is the colonel in chief of the paras, so I don't know. The array of uniforms on display at the coronation parade was amazing. Yeah, the Irish were there as well, believe it or not. President Michael D. Higgins was at the coronation, Irish president. Steelhammer Stand, me and my Mrs. Stan stopped off in a Cumbrian market town for a pint. Lots of young kids walking about with phones, dressed like they lived in the hood in downtown LA, not rural Cumbria. Yeah, it is. It's gone mad. It has gone mad. Jim Timber, I got crowned by a milk bottle once. It was a fight over whose milk float was fastest. Andrew is in. Whoops, I'm late. Hello, Andrew. How are you? Still, Mark Flynn on YouTube says he did. Mark Finton on YouTube says he completed P Company, I think. Charles did do P Company. Fair play to him. I mean, if he did do P Company's tough. There's trained commandos and stuff that struggle with P Company. So I mean, like, yeah, fair play to him if he passed P Company. See, the Marines, the commandos, and they will tell you straight out, Nobody can wear their colour beret unless they have passed commando training. Whereas with the paras, the maroon beret only is for the 16th Air Assault, or 16th Air Mobile, or whatever you want to call them. So anybody that is attached to 16th Air Assault can wear the maroon beret. It's not actually to signify that you're a paratrooper. What signifies that you're a paratrooper is your wings on your sleeve, and there's two different types. There's the standard army one, and there's the SAS one. Um, so that's what actually signifies you're a trooper or a paratrooper. Whereas even the SAS 10 SAN berets, if you're attached to the SAS as like a signaller or a driver or something like that, you're allowed to wear the SAN beret. As far as I know, I think you just can't wear the badge, but you can actually wear the SAN beret. The only ones that you have to do the selection course to wear their beret is the Royal Marine Commandos, which I think is phenomenal. So yeah. David Breen, are you there? I'm here. Hey Stan, how's things? Andrew, David, hello Stan. Steel helmet Stan, good. Andrew, set in the man cave, just drinking beer with my mannequins. No, Andrew. Jim. So yeah, that is interesting as far as I know. I think that is very, very interesting. Evening, Dave. May thanks again for the Soviet bits. I meant Andrew. Dyslexia. Yeah, it is. So I just find that interesting. The fact that some of the toughest regiments, like the SAS, like the Paras, but you can be attached to them, wear their berets. But it's strange. It's strange. It's funny that they started to issue a multicam uniform to the Royal Marines, but not the Paras. Paras have to wear MTP. Do they have a multicam pattern for the Marines? I didn't know that. Well, I know the Marines are being retasked at the minute. They're sort of becoming like they're going back to more of their commando role. They're becoming they're sort of linking themselves with like the American Ranger battalions, that type of thing, which was their initial role. They were raiding and stuff like that. So commando type roles. So it is interesting that they're going back that way, which is cool. Multicam run screaming from the stream. Yeah, they've. I know they're retasking the Marines back to more of a commando role. The Marines have their own uniform now. I've never seen it actually. I must have a look and look out for it and see what it looks like. Yes, part of the new loadout kit, more functional clothing in multicam mad. Watched your video on the REC helmets earlier. I wanted to ask you, were those Bobby helmets a throwback from military home service helmets? No, they're actually called a custodial helmet. What they are. They're still used a lot in the UK, and they were a fashion thing really. And when the custodial helmet goes all the way back to the 1800s, and most police forces in the UK and the colonies and all that fashionably had custodial helmets. You still see them, believe it or not, in some of their former colonies. And the REC, when they became the REC in the 20s, decided, okay, we're going to take up the custodial helmets, and they wore them mainly in the cities of Derry and Belfast. They're the two main places that you'll find photographic evidence of them. So they had the bowler style one first, then they had the one without the seam, then they had the one with the seam. The reason that we had the one without and with the seam is it was cheaper to manufacture, and quicker to manufacture. So literally, what happened and why they went out of service was because the troubles, and they were a stores item, um, and I have friends that have told me that you could still find RUC helmets in the stores in police stations in the north up until the 80s and 90s. But for some reason, they must have gotten binned or they must have gotten thrown away or whatever. But they're extremely hard now to find. Um, the bowler one, especially because that's the first one, which would have been around in the 20s to 30s. And then the one with the seam would have been around from the mid 30s all the way up until the 50s. And then the one with the seam was from the 50s up until the start of the Troubles when they stopped wearing them and started going for P caps. And the reason for that was they were a night watch helmet as well. The police on the streets at night used to wear them because it gave them a bit of protection if they got a slap out of something, if they were on a call or whatever like that. But street patrols in the north, especially during the Troubles, late 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, evolved and changed. So they weren't used anymore. They didn't need them anymore. 1 second, okay, let's have a look and see what messages are flying in. It's camouflage, that's why you've never seen it. Paras will be pissed off. Paras don't really care. Once they have their maroon beret and their Parawings, they don't care. Is that vodka in the bottle, John? No, it's actually water. I've an awful case of heartburn. I have an awful case of heartburn tonight. The Paras will want their own camo. This is what happened when the US Marines got their own kit. Sadly, everyone wanted their own. I actually think it's going to change because I think it's actually going to go back. It's going to be a full circle. Like you had, like if you look at the camouflage around the Second World War and stuff like that, it was a form of multicam. It was a sort of that digital dot type pattern camouflage. And then everyone went away for it. I have a strange feeling after a while because you're seeing it in Ukraine now at the minute. They're both wearing its uniforms are so similar that they have to wear blue or yellow stripes or on their helmets or their arms to know who's who. I can definitely see the DPM coming back again eventually. What form it's going to come back in, I don't know, but it will come back. Wasn't the Bobby's helmet made that way to make the coppers look taller, as they would have to be 5'9" or something years ago? Yeah, in Ireland you had to be 6'1" to be a policeman. Yeah, the helmet gives you the illusion that you look taller, same as the bearskins. That's why the bearskins are a thing. It gives the people the illusion that they're actually taller than they are. But I don't know if it was for the Bobby's helmets, but definitely for other. I think the Queen's Company in the streams, they still have a height requirement. I think you have to be over 6 foot. The premier companies in the guards regiments, I think you have to be over 6 foot. So yeah, but in the other regiment or the other companies and battalions, I don't think you have to be. You know the way the foreign service helmets were khaki and home service ones were always black with the unit plate, the spike on top. Yeah, I've seen them. They possibly were the same, but from what I can find out about Bobby's helmets and stuff, they were designed in the 18 something, 18 whatever. Now, the pit helmet was a Prussian thing, and it sort of like became like a fashion. But I don't know, was it the military ones were based on the police ones, or the police ones were based on the military ones? But yeah, it was basically a fashion type thing. It's also funny that the SA-80A3 was used at the Guards Regiment ahead of the other teeth regiments like the Paras and the Marines. The military structuring and military supply chains will always fathom you. You could be a frontline infantry regiment and you get the stuff last because it's given to the guys in logs and stuff first. It's strange. It is a strange one. Like I can remember when I was in the Irish Army when we got the GPMs first, the pediflage, camouflage, and everybody was issued them. You had to go to the stores and you had to get issued at a certain date. Your starting issue, and that was fine, no problem. Went to the stores. We got one smock, 4 shirts, and 4 pantses, and a rain gear because your rain gear was camouflaged as well at the time. Fine, no problem. That was it. That was the initial issue, and then after that, I can remember the engineers getting bush hats before we got them. There was like a dry flow battle top type thing as well. Medics was the first one that I seen with one in my barracks before we got them. Yeah, it was crazy. It just makes chain of stuff just gets randomly thrown out to people. I don't know why. Jim Timber still have a stand. I used to stuff a sock down. Oh God. I found out that the girls used to stuff roll up tights in their bras. Still have a stand. Timbers get self under control, lad. Yes, Jim, control yourself. That's a shock. 6'1" to be an Irish policeman. Yeah, to be a guard. Up until the 90s. I don't think they changed it until the 90s. Maybe 95, 96, possibly before that. You had to be 6'1" to be a guard in Ireland. And if Jude is still there, he'll back me up on this one. Yes, you had to be over 6'1" to be a guard. They were big men, big, huge men. I love the Irish DPM. Arguably my favourite. I like it too, actually. I do like it. Timbers, you rotter. If first order, you'd get most of Europe 68 pattern GPM in your loft. He does actually have a lot of 68 pattern. In the Gulf War, our tankers got body armor, and our infantry units did not have enough. They had to hand them over. Yeah, I've read accounts of that actually. I have read accounts of that body armor was handed over, because infantry guys couldn't get them, and you had to have an attitude of 7'1". Yeah, that's true actually. I still understand. I've never made the 6 foot club. I'm 5'11" and 3/4. I've probably shrunk now. Stretch. Hang off a bar for a while. What time are we? Right, guys, it's 10 to 9. So we'll give it 5 minutes, the usual 5 minutes, to bombard me with questions if you have them. If you don't, that's fair enough. In my days as a cadet, I had to wear high heel boots to join and stop my hands from dragging on the ground. When I went into the Irish Army, the requirement was 5'6" for a guy. You have to be over 5'6" and 5'5" for a girl. You could be 17 to 24, or 17 to 24 was the age requirement, or up as far as 26 if you had reserve or FCA experience or previous military experience, was up until 26. I don't know if that's changed now. I think they might have gotten rid of the height stuff. I think the height might be the same now. I think it might be 5'5" for both males and females. I don't think they discriminate now between. Well, not discriminate, but I don't think they have a separate requirement for men and women. But yeah, In my days. Oh, yeah, I read that one. Right, guys, so you've got awful quiet. I don't see any questions floating in. So we're going to lock off, and we'll see you all next week at 8 o'clock. We'll be on Friday at 8 o'clock, guys. Stay tuned. I'll see if I can get some of the guys to come on and have a bit of a guest for a change. And we'll see you all then. So stay safe. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great weekend. Well, it's Sunday now, so the weekend's over. Have a great week at work. And enjoy yourselves. And I'll see you all next Friday at 8 o'clock, guys.